Have you ever found yourself at the end of the month wondering, where did all my money go? Well, it's a common problem that has an uncommon solution. I'm going to talk about some saving strategies that are not just about cutting back, but also about making some financial shifts that can ultimately save you hundreds and even thousands of dollars a year. One of the most common mistakes that I see when it comes to budgeting is that most people view a budget as a tool for punishment. People think it's like, okay, I set this number, and if I spend $1 more than that, I went over my budget. I have to set up a press conference and apologize to the entire community. I have to eliminate fun from my life. And it's just not a helpful mindset. And it's not really what a budget is for at all. A budget is just a projection, okay? Remember that word. It is just a projection of what we think is going to happen. Billion-dollar corporations all have budgets, and they have more money than you and I ever will. And yet they still budget, and they constantly miss those budgets. So why do they budget? Well, they're doing it the same reason that we should be doing it, to learn. So when we make these projections with our budget and we think, I'm going to spend this much, and then we review it and see the actuals, well, if we underspent, great. If we overspent, not great. Either way, we have to ask the exact same question. Why? Why were our projections off? If it was off low, if it was off high. And then when we collect this data over a long period of time, let's even say just 90 days, we can look at it and say, oh, okay, well, I projected that I was going to spend $5,000 a month. But looking at this, I consistently spent $5,500 a month. So what that means is that I'm missing my projection somewhere. So I need to add another $500 to my budget and understand why I'm spending 10% more than I thought I was. And that's it. We learn and we get better. So shift your perspective on budgets from something that is a positive and will help you get what you want in life versus something that's a negative and just meant to cause like pain and shame. So what I want you to do now is go into the description of this video and check out the link for the greatest budget tool ever. And if you click on that, it is a free template that you can get. Thousands of people use this. I've been using this for years. I manage $15,000 of expenses on it right now every single month. So trust me, 99% of you, this is going to be plenty. But the key thing is that this is a simple one pager. A lot of people make a mistake of making their finances way too complicated and tracking it. All you need is this. There's some nice graphs and pictures. It'll give you some visuals on there. There's a video walkthrough that you can click on, and it will show you all the different ways that I walk through this and you can use it. And once you really get this set up, you really only need to be looking at this for about 20 to 30 minutes every single month. That's it. And remember, when you're putting in the monthly debt, there's 3 numbers that you have to have. You want to have the monthly payment, you want to have the interest on that, and then you want to have the loan payoff amount. You're going to need this so you can decide exactly what your next moves are going to be. Now, our number one focus is to make sure that we have an emergency fund set up. Now, I have to go through some terms really quick because people get this confused a lot, unfortunately. An emergency fund is like you have some tires pop or some engine problems on your car and you have to go take it in. That's what that is. An emergency fund is not your 6 to 12 months expenses saved, okay? That is your financial foundation. That is what we are going to build your life around, okay? What an emergency fund is just literally that. I had a quick emergency, I need cash, and I have to go spend it, okay? Somebody gets hurt, you have to pay a deductible for a medical bill, whatever the case is. A lot of old gurus like to just say $1,000, and they've been saying that for about 30 years. So if you look at an inflation calculator, $1,000 30 years ago is worth about $2,500 right now. So for me, as of right now, I like to tell people get $2,500 in an account that you do not touch, and that is your emergency fund. And guess what? In a few years, that number will probably have to be $3,000 because inflation is getting so bad. The point is not to pick some easy to remember number. It's to be wise and do what works. Next, I want to talk about some creative saving tips. Now, some of these things may not sound exactly like saving money, as in just taking it and putting it in your piggy bank, right? But you have to remember, saving money is really just about finding ways to keep the money that you have. The first thing I want you to do is to make sure that you have 3 things automated. The first one is your paycheck. There's a lot of people who are still getting their checks sent to them and they have not set up some type of direct deposit. If that's you, you're just wasting time. You don't need to be going to the bank all the time. Time is money. So make sure that that is getting auto debited. The second thing is your savings account. I don't care if you can only save $50 a month or if you can save $5,000 a month. Just automate it. You need to take this out of your hands so we completely eliminate human error. An automatic transfer system set up with technology is much more reliable than you just hoping that you remember to do it every single month. The third one is your credit cards. You want to set this on autopay the day before your balance is due. That way, your balance is at zero every single month when the interest goes and hits, and then you don't owe the credit card company anything. And this is also really advantageous because if you use a cashback rewards credit card, then that really is just money back in your pocket. This next savings tip is really important, but it gets overlooked all the time. A lot of times when people are going through their budgets and they're trying to save money, they really just look at it in a two-way lens. They go, do I need this or can I eliminate it? But there's a third option that's really important called substitution. Basically, substitution is just, can you find something that you really enjoy, but find a way to do it cheaper? So as an example, let's say you love eating beef and you normally would buy 2 steaks every week to go and grill out with. Well, instead of eliminating the steaks altogether to save money, the law of substitution would be just saying, okay, I'm just gonna have steak one night a week, and instead I'm gonna have a burger. Or instead of ordering from Grubhub or Uber Eats, you just decide that I'm gonna go pick up the food on my way home from work, or I'm gonna drive out and go get it and save on the ridiculous delivery fees. Maybe you're really into fashion and you love going shopping at some high-end stores. Well, if that's really killing your budget, maybe you can cut your shopping budget by 50% and find some other stores that are more economical to go shopping at. That's why substitution is such an effective way to help us save money, because we still get to do some of the things that we really enjoy and love, and it doesn't require a lot of changes in behavior. So next time you're stuck between whether or not you need it or should eliminate it, try to substitute it. Hopefully you got some great ideas from this, but I want to make sure that you don't make one of the biggest mistakes that people do after going through something like this. And that is to schedule to do this for someday in the future, and then you're just going to forget about it. So instead, we're going to be the hero of our story, and we're going to take control right now. So go ahead and grab your phone, or if you have a paper calendar, wherever it is, and then write down a 2-hour block sometime in the next 7 days that you are going to do this. And make it happen. Set reminders, block it off, consider it sacred, and let's make sure this gets done. And if you haven't done it already, go into the description below, click on the link, and download the free budget tool. Do not get distracted. Distractions are the enemy, okay? Your wealth building journey starts here.